This is John Paul Ryan, coming from Tokyo, Japan. Today, I'm going to cover Tim Miller dropping another F-bomb, and he reacts to the terrible reviews that Dark Fate's getting. This article is pretty long. That will be linked below if you want full context, but I'm going to just take a look at some of the things he said, mainly about his kind of disappointment with how things are going, and his defenses as how he didn't expect things to go so good in the first place. So he's asked, so reading these bad reviews, it doesn't bother you? This is from a Box Office Pro interview, by the way. I expect, in fact, the ones that are great kind of make you feel good, because I feel that it is a more accurate representation. All the cast and all the crew, even I didn't feel like it's better than Terminator 2 or anything like that. But it was never going to be better than Terminator 2. Well, at least his head's in reality a little bit. You can't go back in time and relieve the nostalgia of that moment when you watched those movies for the first time. Even someone as young as yourself, you still probably watched the movie when you were young, and it had an effect on you. So I guess the person he was talking to is maybe young, and, you know, alright, I think it's okay to say something isn't going to be as good as, like, the classic of the past, but, you know, why not have a high standard for yourself? Why not be like, you know, Terminator 2 is an incredible historic movie, but I tried my best to equal that for the fans, or something like that. And you know, all these directors these days are so against nostalgia. No nostalgia, no nostalgia, no nostalgia. What the hell's wrong with a little nostalgia? What's wrong with a little bit of nostalgia for the people who remember it for like 30 years ago? You know, I'm not going to lecture like we built the franchise, although I think in a way we did. But, okay, so let's even have that argument aside. Why is it so bad to have some nostalgia in these movies that are, well, nostalgic for a lot of people? Don't make sense to me. Yeah, I said don't on purpose. I know, it doesn't, but it sounds like a little more stronger when I say don't make sense. Alright, so he goes on to say, so I knew I couldn't compete with these movies. I just wanted to make a good movie, and I wanted to continue Sarah's story with Linda doing it, and those are all the things we did. I don't feel like I left anything on the field. We all put our hearts and soul into it, of course. I mean, I'm sure people worked hard, do not get me wrong, but of course, they're always going to say we all put everything into it. The only thing they forgot to put into it was a good story and respect for the characters from the originals. Especially, you know who, John Connor, of course, which brings us here. And if people are going to hate it, I feel like it'd be nice if they judged it for what it is instead of heaping their past disappointments onto it. But you know, I didn't expect that not to happen. You know, I don't give a fuck. There we go. He doesn't give a fuck. Just like before. He was just playing in Jim's sandbox. He don't give a fuck. He's just playing around. You know, whatever. And I forgot. This is the guy who said that the female Terminator Grace is going to make misogynist trolls pissed and angry. So I was going not easy on Tim Miller, but I was like kind of going easier on him for the creative choice of getting rid of John Connor. But now I remember he called people like me who just criticize things and have an opinion trolls, misogynists. Then yeah, I guess if you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, and that's that. And of course, he's got to say some excuse that really has nothing to do with the failure. Just because a lot of the Terminator movies were pretty terrible before this came out in the middle, especially Genesis looking at you, well, that doesn't mean people weren't going to give this a chance. That means people were hoping this was going to be good and be more willing to give it a chance. But when you put an agenda in our face, you have a weird picture of it at first with Grace and Sarah and Danny, and you know, that's cool. Look, I'm all for women, but you know, if you push for diversity, maybe it would be better to have a more diverse picture? Just saying, like a little more normal picture. It just seems like, even if it isn't a feminist agenda or something like that, it just seems like it is when the only characters that you push in the beginning for the first photos are female. It comes off like that. I haven't seen the movie. I don't really want to. I don't have an interest. I'm mostly here to criticize his attitude on reception of reviews. But, you know, the thing is, from what I've heard from very reliable sources, it seems like there's a lot of political correctness, which I'm going to get into on this channel a little bit more. There's a couple of lines in there that I'm pretty shocked that are in there, and I'm pretty shocked that a lot of people aren't getting that these are politically correct and agenda-motivated lines. So now Tim gets a little more whiny. He says, and this first line's about James Cameron being involved, which is kind of a different topic. What he said about that real quick was that he felt it was important that James was involved to get his real creator opinion, but not really interested in that. Get into that some other time. So I thought that was really important because people had, I think, lost hope, and he was referring to important as James Cameron being involved. They still have. I mean, you see the reviews coming in are really mixed. I mean, I wouldn't say mixed, maybe that's not the right word. Polarized would be a better word. And I think that the people that hate it seem to be people that hate it for reasons that are beyond my control. They hate it because it's the sixth movie and Hollywood should be making original movies and not repeating franchises or beating a dead horse, blah, blah, blah. It seems that they were, in many ways, pre-decided. Now here's the thing. Everybody wants those old franchises, but we want the characters respected. They never ever directly head-on addressed the fact that a lot of people were very disappointed that John Connor was disrespected in the way he is. He's gonna rally up every freaking excuse in the book aside from direct confrontation about political correctness and all these issues that the movie had around them. Daniel replacing John, Arnold being this kind of house husband, from what I hear, even if it wasn't very relevant in the movie. That was the backstory that they pushed in the media about him. So, point is, Tim will dodge every bullet, except he will not head-on admit certain things like, you know what, killing John might not have been a good choice creatively. That might have hurt the word of mouth in this movie, and it might have hurt people like Entertainment Hacker and a lot of people who are subscribed to his channel and friends from not seeing the movie. Because I know a lot of people who didn't see the movie or didn't want to see it or were disgusted when they saw what happened to John Connor. So hopefully Tim Miller will talk about that at some point. You guys let me know what you think about this down below. I guess I had to say fuck in this video. I didn't have to, but he said it, so I'll say it. I'm not going to, hold myself back if he's not, so I guess I'll have more on Tim Miller coming up, because he's very irritating. He's like Rian Johnson's demented cousin, I guess. And I'm making fun of these guys, yes, because I think they threw the first punches by calling people trolls and man-babies and things like that. I'm not going to make fun of people who are respectful, like Benioff and Weiss. Yeah, I might have called them dumb and dumber for making poor decisions in, plotline, but basically I'm pretty nice to those guys, and I still respect them to a certain extent. And I don't make fun of people very much, but when people go crazy in the media and act like shitheads, then I'm kind of defending myself. I'm not coming after them at first. Anyway, I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't. Click it, press it. I will see you next time.
If you are not subscribed to this channel, The Entertainment Hacker, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button now.